Buongiorno everyone. Today we're making a delicious pasta with these orecchiette. We're gonna add in kale, fresh basil, lemon, garlic. We're gonna top it with some crunchy chickpeas that we're gonna make in the oven and some fried shallots to just add that extra layer of flavor to tie it all in together. First things first, you need to start by soaking cashews overnight in some water and come back after that's done. Okay, let's make this creamy sauce. I have here, ignore this, I just splashed myself with tofu juice all over. But we're gonna make the creamy sauce. So here I have the soaked cashews, and then we're just gonna crumble in a block of traditional tofu. You can use, I would recommend using soft tofu. So this is a traditional one, which is fairly soft. You could do silken as well if you prefer silken tofu. I like the way the creaminess that this one gives to the sauce. The creaminess is next level. So we're just crumbling this in. You don't have to be precise about it because it's all going to be mixed and blended up anyway. And then, because I'm making a big batch, I'm going to add another one. Maybe half, actually. Yeah, I'm going to do half of the other one. So this is going to depend on how much you're making, how much tofu you're adding, and how many cashews and stuff. Then we're going to be adding juice of a lemon. Squeeze that in there. Make sure you don't squeeze in the pips. Then we're going to do the tiniest pinch of salt. And then cold water. I'm going to blend this up first and then add in the kale and the basil and blend it again. When you're going to cut the basil, I wanted to quickly show you how you make a chiffonade so you can easily chop fresh herbs. You gather a stack, you roll them up in a little roll, and then once you have that, you can chop it and you get a finely sliced bunch of fresh herbs. This is good because you can cut it all at once and it doesn't bruise the herbs too much and affect the flavor. There you go. Okay, this is now blended up nicely for the first blend. I already tasted it and I'm going to add one more lemon. So just make sure you're tasting in between. And then we're adding garlic. All right, so we have the kale that we cleaned earlier. Just take it off the stems. Got the fresh basil. It smells so good. And we're just going to tear off the leaves in there. And because we're blending this in a powerful blender, you can add some of the stems, that's fine. And then we're going to whack it in the blender again until it's a really nice, creamy, smooth consistency. For the fried shallots, we're going to start off by taking a pot and filling it with oil. Here you can really do as much as you want because the end result will be a flavoured oil that you can use for just about anything. Then we're going to peel all the shallots and then we're going to finely slice them. Then we're going to pop those into the oil and then heat that oil on a low to medium heat. And we're going to leave them there and occasionally stir for about 20 to 30 minutes. Once they're golden brown, you can take them out of the oil and just place them on some kitchen paper. Make sure you get all of the onion out of the oil, and then you can strain the oil into a jar, and that's your flavored oil for salads, on sandwiches, really just about anything, like I said. Now onto the chickpeas. You're gonna rinse and dry the chickpeas. Then you're gonna put them on a baking tray. You're gonna add olive oil, some salt, some pepper, a bit of paprika, and you give them a good stir so they're all evenly coated. And then you're gonna pop those in the oven for about 30 minutes until they look like this and they are nice and crispy. We've made it to the last step. All that's left was cooking the pasta and assembling all the food together. Make sure you cook this al dente and don't overcook your pasta because that's gross. These are tiny little ear-shaped pastas, and they are great because they hold little pockets of sauce as you are eating them. Alright, that's it. We're done. Let's try some. It's great. The sauce is really creamy. You've got that the sort of the tangy herbiness from the basil, and then the kale gives a little bit of earthiness. You can barely really taste it because of all the basil, but the kale adds in a little bit of earthiness and obviously adds in loads of fiber and other nutrients and minerals, so that's great. And then we have the chickpea. It's give it a little bit of crunch. The shallots, it all ties together nicely. This is a really nice thing. You can make a batch in a head. You can make a batch ahead, and you can have it for lunch throughout the week, for example. You can make this for friends. This is a nice little dish to make when people come over. So yeah, I hope you like this one, and check out my other videos if you haven't seen them before. Make sure you like and subscribe and all those things. And I'll be back next week with another recipe. Thank you. Sorry about that.